My mother died when I was 16. Cancer. Fast and cruel. From the diagnosis to the funeral, it was only 6 months. Everything in my world changed before I even understood what was happening. My father remarried a year later. Too fast, at least for me. But he said he was lonely. And maybe he was. Her name was Tracy. At first, Tracy seemed nice enough. Polite. Friendly. The kind of person who smiles a lot when other people are watching. She had 2 kids from her previous marriage. Derek was 19, and Ashley was 17. They moved into our house soon after the wedding. Our house. The house my grandparents had built decades ago. The house where I had grown up. The house where every room carried memories of my mother. At the beginning, things were tolerable. Tracy tried to act like a stepmother. She asked about school, cooked dinner, and made casual conversation. But something about it always felt shallow. Like she was performing a role instead of actually caring. Her smiles never reached her eyes. And after a while, it became obvious. She didn't care about me. She cared about my father. About the life he could provide. The house. The stability. When I turned 18, my father sat me down in the living room. Tracy stood nearby, arms crossed, watching quietly. Tracy thinks it's time you start contributing to the household, my father said. I frowned. Contributing how? Rent, he replied. The word hit me like a slap. Rent. I repeated. You're an adult now, he said carefully. It's only fair. I stared at him in disbelief. I'm still in high school, I said. I graduate in 3 months. That doesn't change the principle, he answered. Tracy finally spoke. Derek and Ashley pay rent, she said calmly. It's only fair that everyone contributes. I almost laughed. They don't even go to school, I said. They sit at home all day. That's not the point, my father said quickly. The point is fairness. My stomach tightened. How much? My father hesitated. Then he said it. $800 a month. For a moment I thought I had misheard him. 800? I worked part-time at a small coffee shop. On a good month, I made maybe $900. You want me to give you almost all of my income? I asked. My father shifted uncomfortably. It's not my decision, he said. Tracy manages the finances. Tracy nodded as if everything about this situation was perfectly reasonable. This is my house, I said quietly. Our house, my father corrected. And Tracy is my wife. If she says you need to pay rent, then you need to pay rent. I wanted to argue. I wanted to shout the truth right there. Because technically, this house wasn't his. It wasn't Tracy's. It was mine. But he didn't know that. My grandparents had arranged something years earlier before they passed away. They placed the house into a trust. The trust transferred ownership to me the moment I turned 18. 3 weeks ago. Legally, the house belonged to me. But I hadn't told anyone yet. I didn't know how. I wasn't ready for the chaos that would follow. I'll think about it, I said quietly. Don't take too long, Tracy replied. The first payment is due by the end of the week. I went to my room and closed the door. Then I called Mr. Brennan, my grandparents' lawyer. He had managed the trust since they died. I need your help, I told him. What seems to be the problem? He asked. My stepmother is demanding that I pay rent, I said slowly. For a house that legally belongs to me. There was a brief silence. Do they know the property is yours? He asked. No. Then perhaps it's time they do. I exhaled slowly. How? I'll prepare a legal notice, he said. It will confirm you are the sole owner of the property. And and it will inform them their residency depends entirely on your permission. I swallowed. What does that mean exactly? It means, he said calmly, if you want them to leave, they must leave. He paused. Do you want them to leave? I thought about Tracy demanding rent. About Derek and Ashley treating the house like a free hotel. Leaving messes everywhere. Contributing nothing. I thought about how my father had chosen Tracy's side without hesitation. Yes, I said quietly. I do. Very well, Mr. Brennan replied. Give me 3 days. 3 days later, the documents were ready. Proof of ownership. And eviction notices. Tracy, Derek, and Ashley had 60 days to move out. My father could stay if he wanted. But only him. I waited until dinner. Everyone was at the table. Tracy sat at the head of it, the seat my mother used to sit in. Derek and Ashley were on either side. My father sat across from me. I need to say something, I announced. Can it wait? Tracy said. We're eating. No, I replied. It can't. I placed the documents on the table and slid them toward her. What is this? She asked. Legal notice. She picked them up. As she read, her expression slowly changed. First confusion, then disbelief, then anger. This says the house belongs to you, she said sharply. Yes, I answered. That's ridiculous, she snapped. This house belongs to your father. No, I said calmly. My grandparents left it to me. My father looked stunned. What are you talking about? The trust transferred ownership to me when I turned 18, I said. 3 weeks ago. Tracy kept reading. Then she reached the eviction notice. Her eyes widened. You're evicting us? She demanded. Yes. You can't do that. I can, I replied. It's my house. She turned to my father. Tell her this is ridiculous. My father looked down at the papers again. Then back at me. Is this true? He asked quietly. Yes. Silence filled the room. Then Tracy exploded. This is insane. We've been supporting you. Supporting me? I said. You live here using my electricity, my water, my space. Her face turned red. You're just a child, she snapped. Maybe, I said. But I'm also the homeowner. You have 60 days. I am not leaving, she said. You will, I replied. Or the police will help you. She looked at my father again. You're going to let her do this? He was quiet for a long moment. Then he said something I never expected. She owns the house. Tracy stared at him in disbelief. Fight for your family, she shouted. He looked at me. Then at her. She is my family. 60 days later, Tracy, Derek, and Ashley were gone. They left without saying goodbye. My father stayed. Slowly, we started rebuilding our relationship. He apologized. Truly apologized. For not protecting me. For choosing Tracy. For not seeing what was happening. I forgave him. Not because he deserved it immediately. But because he was trying. Tracy even tried to sue for the house later. The court dismissed the case. She had no proof. No claim. Now I'm 19. I still live in the house my grandparents left me. The house my mother loved. My father lives in the small guest house out back. We have dinner together once a week. And sometimes I think about what would have happened if I had just paid the rent. If I had stayed quiet. If I had let Tracy take control. But I didn't. I stood up for myself. And in the end, I won. Not because I wanted revenge. But because everyone deserves respect in their own home. So tell me, did I do the right thing? Or was I too harsh? Let me know what you think. And if you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more.